Okay, what if you had a superpower? I'm talking about the ability to see secrets hidden in plain sight, like the earliest signs of a disease or a tiny flaw in a bridge long before it fails. Well, today we're diving into a technology that's making that a reality. To really get what this new tech is all about, we first need to face a fundamental truth. Our senses are, well, pretty limited. There's a whole world of information out there that exists just beyond what we can naturally see. So let's just ask the big question right up front. What if our eyes could suddenly pick up on all this data that's currently invisible to us? How would that completely change our world? And look, this isn't just some fun what if scenario. It actually gets to the very core of some of our biggest challenges, because so often the most critical information is hiding just outside of our normal perception. Just think about it for a second. The very first signs of an illness in a person, or stress in a crop, or even a weakness in a building material. These things don't just pop up out of nowhere. They start with tiny, subtle changes that our eyes are simply not designed to catch. And the stakes here are absolutely massive. In healthcare, this could be the difference between catching something early and a diagnosis that comes too late. In agriculture, we're talking about the security of our food supply. And for engineering, it's about preventing disasters before they can ever happen. This is a huge universal challenge. For the longest time, this was just a basic limitation we had to live with. But that's all starting to change. A brand new approach is coming along that's turning this entire problem on its head. And that brings us to PhytoLens AI. This is a company that has zeroed in on this exact problem, the problem of the invisible. And they've developed a seriously powerful new way to see what's really going on under the surface. So their approach is called spectral intelligence. Here's the core idea. They use special cameras to capture light our own eyes can't see, things like infrared or ultraviolet. Then, and this is the really cool part, AI algorithms analyze all that hidden data, looking for subtle patterns that might signal stress in a plant or the early stages of a disease. It's basically about teaching a machine to see the invisible for us. And this is the whole point. It's not just about seeing cool new things for the sake of it. The entire purpose is to spot those invisible warning signs way, way earlier, which lets people make smarter, faster, and much more accurate decisions, whether you're a doctor, a farmer, or an engineer. So what does this actually look like out in the real world? Well, with this kind of new capability, we can start to completely reimagine what the future of diagnostics and monitoring will be. And we're talking about a massive transformation. It's a huge shift away from diagnostics that are slow, invasive, or force you to wait until a problem is big enough to see. Instead, we're moving towards something that's way more proactive. This new approach is really built on three game-changing pillars. First, it's non-invasive. Think about diagnosing a disease in a crop without ever having to touch the plant. You just scan it. Second, it's real-time. You get actionable information instantly, not after you send a sample to a lab and wait around for days. And finally, it's intelligent. The AI actually learns from every single scan, getting smarter and more precise over time. I mean, that combination completely redefines what's possible. All right, so as we start to wrap this up, what's the one key message you should take away from all this? Well, it all boils down to a really powerful statement about where we are today. This isn't some science fiction idea or a concept for 10 years down the road. According to PhytoLens AI, the ability to see the invisible and use that information for better outcomes is happening right now. The future they're describing has already begun. And that leaves us with this final, really exciting question. Once we have a tool that lets us see what was previously hidden across so many different fields, what are the next great discoveries we're going to make? The possibilities are truly staggering to think about.